Hi, my name is Casey, and I wanted to share my story about my heart palpitations and how I got rid of mine. I know how debilitating it can be to live with constant heart palpitations, so if this can help somebody, that would be awesome. My story starts about 4 years ago when I had an episode of tachycardia totally out of the blue. My heart rate went up to 200 for about a minute, and then from that point forward, I wasn't able to handle coffee, sugar, high carb foods without feeling like I was going to have a heart attack and die. All the test results that my doctor put me through came back normal, so they just kind of chalked it up to panic attacks and stress. I wore a Holter monitor for 48 hours, and I asked, did you see the heart palpitations? And they said yes, but they said that it was within the normal range, which I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I never had heart palpitations before, and then all of a sudden I am getting a heart or skip beat or heart palpitation almost once a minute, and that apparently is within the normal healthy range. Their response was, you imagine how many times your heart beats within 24 hours, and that it's bound to mess up every once in a while. It was crazy. At the time, my doctor, who was actually leaving his practice to become a naturopath, suggested that I go see a naturopath. He said that he couldn't really help me, but I needed to work on my diet and getting healthy again. So I went to a naturopath, and we started working on eating real food and taking supplements. I'm not going to go too much into diet and supplements, but what I did learn throughout the 4 years was that if I could cut out all sugar, if I could cut out processed foods, breads, especially pastas, pizza, stuff like that, that the heart palpitations would be extraordinarily tolerable. If heart palpitations can be tolerable, but they would lessen to the amount where it was much more livable than what I experience when I eat those things. So for about 3 years, that is what I tried to do, limit as much as I possibly could. When I became pregnant with my second child, I was craving a lot more sugary foods, and yet when I would even take a bite of one, the symptoms had increased tenfold. I would get shortness of breath, immediate fatigue. I would be on the couch for the rest of the day. It was awful, and I started to realize I'm experiencing symptoms of diabetes. But of course, when I went to my doctor, no, you don't have diabetes. You're not you're not overweight. You don't have any of the things that go along with type 2 diabetes. But still, I was, according to Google, experiencing symptoms of diabetes. So I finally found some research on mice who were experiencing type 2 diabetes, and they actually cured them by upping their magnesium level. So I thought that was really interesting, that they were just magnesium deficient and they were portraying those symptoms of type 2 diabetes. But I had been taking magnesium, and the naturopath suggested that, and I never really noticed any relief from my symptoms. Although, to be fair, I was never consistent. I would take it for a couple weeks and I wouldn't notice anything, so then I would wonder, am I wasting my money? Am I just making expensive urine, as people like to say? You start wondering, all those people who say vitamins don't work, so I would go on and off vitamins, and I never really experienced any relief from my heart palpitations, or noticeable relief. So then I started looking at, well, why was I taking magnesium but not getting any relief? And I found another study saying that a lot of times you don't absorb the vitamins in your gut. You have gut issues, and vitamins are just not well absorbed. So another way to get vitamins into the system is through an Epsom salt bath. And they had a study where a group of people had Epsom salt bath ranging from 12 to 30 minutes for, I believe it was 5 to 7 days in a row, and they significantly increased their magnesium levels. So I went out and I got the Epsom salts, and I read the instructions, and it said you put in 2 cups of Epsom salts in your bath. And I'd had Epsom salt baths before and never really experienced any relief, but I had never put that much in. I kind of just sprinkled it in. It seemed like 2 cups is pretty extreme, but I'm like, okay, that's what the study showed and that's what the instructions on the bag said. So I put in 2 cups and I had my 30-minute bath, and I noticed immediate relief after the bath. I still continued that for the next 5 to 7 days, and then after that, that Epsom salt bath started to feel a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not sure if I can really explain the feeling, but it just felt like I needed to get out. But I wasn't experiencing heart palpitations pretty much at all. Then I think a couple weeks went by, and then I started to notice a few, and again I had another Epsom salt bath, and they were gone. Of course, if this works for you, don't tell your doctor, because there is no way that an Epsom salt bath can fix heart palpitations, right? Magnesium just, even though lots of studies say it works, yeah, that can't be it. So pretty much all my heart palpitations were gone. I would still occasionally get a few, and in fact I noticed just recently that I started having panic attacks again, and I would get chest tightness, I was starting to get fatigue and shortness of breath, and I'd have my Epsom salt baths and it wouldn't really help. I'd have that feeling of, I've got enough, I need to get out. So doing more research, I had my blood work done, and I was just kind of looking at all the numbers that kind of fell on the low range, and my B12 was on the lower end. It was normal for our standards here in Canada, but in China and Europe, they treat anything under 400, and mine was at like 328. The optimal is apparently 700 to 1,000. So I started taking sublingual B12. You put it under your tongue, and within the first day I started noticing relief. I didn't have any more chest pains or chest tightness, and it's been 5 days now, and I haven't had any heart palpitations whatsoever. Not even a hint of, I don't know if you ever experienced this, having heart palpitations, but almost the anticipation that you're about to have one, but it doesn't feel like you did. So I used to get that, and for the last 5 days I haven't got that. So it's something, definitely, if you're having heart palpitations, panic attacks as the doctors like to call them. I don't think they're panic attacks. I definitely have stress, and I'm sure most people do, but the heart palpitations were not because of stress. They were because of magnesium deficiency, and it seems like a low-end B12 deficiency. So if this helps you and you're looking at buying some sublingual B12 or some Epsom salts for your bath, then if you would click my Amazon link below and you purchase from that, that would be awesome. I'll get a little bit of a commission, a few dollars for helping to share this with you. Thank you very much. Let me know if it helps.